talking about literally millions of people across the country over time who are going to be in this situation and need to have the facts to know whether they're making an informed decision.
So they go through this parallel.
For the first time, lawmakers in D.C. met with patients who've experienced issues with medical devices. The goal is to spark change in the FDA's approval process and increase transparency, issues the KVUE defenders have been reporting on since the beginning of the year. KVUE's Terry Gruca was there today, and she's live from D.C. tonight. Terry?
Quita, these were impassioned pleas to lawmakers taking place all day today here on Capitol Hill. People who wanted to get their message across about the dangers of these medical devices. People like a woman we introduced you to in February.
Traveling is not easy for Frances Scott. A metal-on-metal hip implant that she says left her not only poisoned, but her muscles damaged.
If our story can help and stop this from happening to other stories, like sometimes we all get jaded about media and the politics.
She shared her story with us a few months ago, but is meeting Congressman Doggett for the first time.
I had the slightest idea that this device had never been tested on human beings.
I would not have gotten it.
Metal against metal, you've never gone through this.
Congressman Doggett wanted to meet Frances because he's pushing for 2 bills to increase transparency of medical device problems. It's not just hips, mesh, breast implants, and many other devices.
Just seeing your stories and seeing how much misery was caused to some individuals, and knowing from my own experience many years ago as a judge that I'd see some of these cases come up, I thought it was important to make a difference.
According to Device Events, a service set up by a former FDA worker to better track problems with medical devices, the FDA receives more than 80,000 reports of problems each month involving various devices. An antiquated system that makes it difficult for patients and doctors to understand the true scope of problems.
My hope is that we'll have enough citizen outrage over this, enough participation by the victims who've been directly affected along with their families, that we can bring about some change.
Congressman Doggett plans to introduce the Medical Device Guardian Act later this week. That would require doctors to report problems with medical devices to the FDA. Right now, there is no requirement. Now, similar bills have failed to pass in previous years, but there really seems to be bipartisan support this time. And with more meetings scheduled with lawmakers tomorrow, there's also a lot more hope. Count on the KVUE defenders to let you know what happens. Live in Washington, D.C., I'm Terry Gruca. Mike?